I'm in the Facebook group that's dealing with the legendary Motown group, The Temptations. Somebody had a picture of David Ruffin on there, and someone wrote in the comment section, David Ruffins. When did David Ruffin added a S at the end of his last name? His first name is Davis. It's the S to the D when he got the Motown and ran with it ever since. And here's something else I seen in another Facebook group. Someone mentioned Paul, well, whoever posted it called them Parliament Funkadelics. Now we know there is no S at the end of Funkadelic. Parliament, yeah. Back in the mid to late '60s, when George Clinton started that group, they took the S off. They took the S out once they got to the 1970s, and basically retooled the group. There's no S at the end of Funkadelic. Stop that. Stop it. Now let's bring it local. Where I live, we put an S at the end of the name of streets like Haynes Boulevard. They call it Haynes. I'm like, where's the S at the end of that word? I don't see it on the street sign except for one. And that was a typo on whoever made the street sign. But the crazy part is, they shouldn't have never put it out there in the first place. It's called Hanes, not Haynes. It was named after somebody, not after underwear, okay? And when it, and it also comes to sports teams like the Miami Heat. They got some people and some fans. And I ain't got to tell you what race they are. They call them the Miami Heats. Heats, Heats, Heats. What's that? And it ain't always black people. That did the same thing to a former lingerie league team called the LA Temptation. They call them the Temptations. Well, I don't see David Ruffin, Eddie Kendricks, Melvin Franklin, Paul Williams, or Otis Williams, or even Dennis Edwards on that team. And it's an all women 7-on-7 bikini clad football league, which now no longer exists. Their final season ended in 2019, but COVID prevented their rebranding. At first, I used to think black people putting the S at the end of words only happened where I'm from. Now I go online, it ain't just people from my neck of the woods. It's all over the country. Only here in the United States. It seems like a lot of us haven't left the yard, aka the plantation. It's been nearly 200 years and we're still free. Why everybody want to go back to the yard? But that's another topic for another time. And here's another thing, like with Lionel Richie of the Commodores, they put a T in his last name, Ritchie. Now we know good and well there's no T in his last name. It's not even on his birth certificate. So I'm wondering how in the world people misspelling his name, knowing good and well they bought the man's album, his solo album, and him with the Commodores. How you not see that? How you not read? Oh yeah, that's right, Black. Just like they think Curtis Mayfield made a song called Diamond in the Back all because of Superfly. But the truth is that song was made by William DeVaughn. It's called Be Thankful for What You Got. It was originally titled A Cadillac Don't Come Easy. The old heads know that. But then again, some of the old heads don't. So I raised the question. If Curtis Mayfield made that song, how come it's not in his catalog? William DeVaughn made that song. He wrote it and performed it himself. Like, no, Curtis Mayfield made that song. What album? You can't say Superfly because that song came out 2 years after Superfly. It ain't on any of his albums. It's not on any of his compilations. It's not even on the unrecorded, unreleased. I mean, cause just because Dana Dan sound like Slick Rick don't mean he's Slick Rick. It's like a lot of people thought Aretha Franklin made the song Rescue Me, and it was made by Fontana Bass. We're in the technological age. We got Google, we got Wikipedia, we got all these sources, but yet Negroes don't want to use them. We got bookstores, we got libraries, nobody wants to read. They think Ignorance and not knowing is bliss. Which is one of the reasons why we as a race of people are not getting ahead. Just like with the stock market and now cryptocurrencies. Black people don't want to invest because we see that as the white man's game. And these are the very things, some of the very things that our people marched, protest, fought, bled, and died just to be a part of it. Now all of a sudden they renege. And I don't want to do nothing white and corny. I'm going to stay hood. Oh, so you don't mind walking around with your head on the swivel every second on the second? Looking out for other Negroes and crooked cops? You want to live in a struggle mansion? Blow all your money on Xboxes, flat screen TVs, stereos, Jordans, iPhones, just a stunt in front. Meanwhile, you're behind on rent. And nowadays, they won't even let you get 2 months behind on rent. Unless, and only unless, you've been either hospitalized or injured. Well, if you're injured, you're going to be in the hospital. They only give you 15 days. From the first of the month, 5 days after the fact, you're being charged your regular rent plus a late fee. And if you don't pay your rent or that late fee on time, guess what? Everything you bought will be sitting next to the dumpster. And I know it don't look good sitting there. We all know it don't look good sitting there. God the Most High, Yah, Allah, whatever divine name you want to call him, he did not put black people here to fail. It was a choice we made. And Kanye was right about slavery being a choice. Because look at us right now. We choosing to stay in that same position, even though we're free. Let me give a little shout out to the Wacky World of Old just came in the building. Yeah, the Most High didn't put us here to be ignorant. And we have evidence of our greatness. Even though in the school system, a lot of that has been whitewashed. We're told that enough times we start to believe it. Evidence. that we was here, we had kingdoms. We had a code of conduct. Something we don't have much of now. And the one thing we need to get back to. You heard me? And comedian Eddie Griffin had put a spin on the reading is fundamental thing. He said reading is fun to mental. And in order to do that, you can't have a short attention span. Because having a short attention span is not a good thing. Because a lot of stuff will go over your head. Or it's getting to a point where you feel that it's long and all drawn out, then you can't stay. Especially me online doing this short live stream, because I already know I'm in the back of the line. I'm doing this just to see where I fit, basically. And